Gang, what's up, fella? Chicka, yeah. All right, you guys, Mike Lovin over here, aka Mr. Nasdaq, aka Mr. SPX. Anyways, all right, so I'm out in the park, and I brought my laptop real quick just to go over the market real quick. So we're at Bitcoin. Here's your time and date, Arizona time. Here's Bitcoin, 1 hour candle. You can see that, especially once we get towards Sunday morning, we see this upper pressure. So that's what you want for the market. That's what you want to see to indicate to you that the S&P is gonna open at the same price or a little bit higher, pretty much in a happy sort of movement. Especially because what happens is during the weekends is when the government tends to release these tweets, whether it be about a deal with tariffs going through, whether it be about opening the government, whether it be any news. That's what they normally do on Sundays. So on Sundays it's when because they know the market is not open, so traders can't really do anything till the market's open. So on a Friday they'll leave them off with what's gonna happen, are we gonna do this, and Sundays when you normally get your answer or whatnot. And Sunday morning is when you start getting your tweets and whatnot, and that's what you're seeing now going through the internet. How interest rates, how the percentage, the possibility of rate cuts happening in December has gone high now from 30 to 70 based on comments based from pretty much government fuckers. Government are gonna be tweeting shit now, saying comments that now is gonna make the government the stock market opened a little bit optimistic, and you're gonna see that markets open higher as um, optimism about interest rate cuts coming in December are looking higher, are looking optimistic, or blah 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 blah. So that's what you're seeing right here. Bitcoin's telling you, and Ethereum. I told you guys in to pay attention to this three candle box that was forming here. That either this was gonna be your bottom area, or we were gonna complete it and keep on going down. But based on how the economy is opening is how this is gonna play out. The fact that it closed inside, it was still cautious, but the fact that your fourth candle, which was a make or break, was still holding the upper movement, and on top of that, it was holding this 50 Fibonacci in the 2 hour or 3 hour time frame. In the 3 hour time frame. So here's your 50 Fibonacci. When you break it above it, you want to hold above the 50 to let you know the market is gonna keep on going up, and that's what you're seeing here. That's a 3 hour candle. Let me go to a 4 hour candle. 4 hour candle, we have resistance going here, so we're most likely by 3 o'clock we should see 3 or 4. We should see some sort of breaking through or whatnot. If not, we're gonna close inside of here. This is still bullish, but all this crypto's telling you that the S&P 500 is gonna open happier or positive. Same much. Same with Ethereum. I'm in the park, you guys, right now, so my bad for the lighting and everything or whatnot. See, park. So same with Ethereum. There's Ethereum for time frame, your time and date. Lean long. What's up? So yeah, this is just a recap of just showing you guys how Bitcoin and Ethereum are opening higher. And like I said, during the weekend, since the S&P 500 closes, you have Bitcoin and Ethereum to let you know how the market is doing. Because what would have happened is, if the market was gonna open bad, you guys, you would have seen the third candle Saturday night, especially holding down. And as we get closer to 3, you would have seen this start breaking on down here. That would have told you, holy shit, some bad news happened, and the S&P is gonna open bad, and the market is really scared. Because Bitcoin isn't just gonna move. It's not decentralized like people. That used to be the old crypto, the old where crypto decentralized, the governments don't control it, it's peer to peer, all that bullshit is over with. Now you have government, now you have hedge funds, now you have somebody in control. So now that the government's in control and owns it a lot, it's synchronized with the United States economy. So that's why on all these drops or push on ups, you'll see that'll be the same time that the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq moving up. Second of all, the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 are like brothers and sisters, kind of like gold and silver, kind of like Bitcoin and gold. They both move alike. Silver and gold move alike. Ethereum and gold, Ethereum and gold, Ethereum and Bitcoin move alike. Big gold and silver move alike, and Nasdaq and the S&P move alike. S&P and crypto are synchronized. That's how you can tell during the weekend how the economy is gonna open Sunday at 3 p.m. future wise. Another thing, you guys, this last week we got so many fucking data. Normally every day we'll have maybe the max, maybe 1 or 2 days of the whole week we'll have maybe 4 or 3 data coming at the same time. But that's about it. The fact that we have 3 days and the last two are jam packed with old and new data. By old data, I mean months from September and October and some bullshit like that. So it is gonna be so very volatile, and they're most likely gonna come out around the same time, either 6:30, and then some of it at 8 o'clock, which is that's how they play it out. Or they'll have it all come out at 6:30 before the market opens. What you wait for your 8:45 to 9:30. So then once the data comes out, the market does what it does. It goes up and down. It tricks all you guys to fucking thinking we're gonna go up and down because hey, the news was good, so it's gonna go up. Look, the thing went up. It's green now. So after it does all that bullshit, then it finally goes for the real move. And that's what you want to get. And that's what people have a hard time catching. And that's what I'm good at. I'm catching these good sweet spots before or after the data comes out, because I tend to see how the S&P is gonna react after or before the data comes out. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like I said, I don't work no more, so I'll be making more videos, live streaming, breaking down how this market is gonna move. And I'll be doing option calls on Robinhood. But again, this is just to show you guys how the market. You'll see that when the S&P 500 opens. Let me see Twitter. Let me show you the data that we're gonna be having this week. See, now everybody's saying, see, now Bitcoin's going up, this is that. Get ready for another crazy week ahead of stock market. Look at all the data that we have. Let's see over here. My bad, people, for getting you fucking confused with this shit, but like, we got 16 datas coming out this week. Monday gives you the time, Arizona time, which data it is from October, the impact, and the ranking. This is the number 2, the time, the date. So I told ChatGPT to rank me the data to let me know which one's gonna be more important and how will it affect the S&P 500 along with gold, silver, Ethereum, Bitcoin. And it's fucking the shit. It's too much to fucking read, but it's gonna be a crazy ass week, you guys. So yeah, so you're gonna see the S&P 500. Here we go. Let me take this shit out. All the indicators. So you're gonna see the S&P 500. This is the 1 hour candle. S&P 500. Time and date. You're gonna see the S&P 500 open in between here, in between 6,641 and 6,600 where it closed. You're gonna see it there start going up a little bit. It's gonna show you how happy it is because now you gotta remember what these rich people, the ones that are buying these stocks, they give a fuck about only the data. So this data that I just mentioned to you guys, that will move the S&P 500. Nothing really else. If we have earnings, if we have some sort of war or tariffs, that's other things that move it. But when all that shit is clear, when the tariffs are done, when all these other little war issues are over with, like today, all investors are keeping their eye on is interest rates. Are they going to happen this December? So let's look at this data coming up this week because this data is going to tell us how the Fed feels. So based on this data that's going to come out, labor data and all this, that's when the S&P fucking reacts to this stuff or whatnot. And I tend to fucking go into the smaller time frames and go on the good key entries and break it down to you why the market is gonna start reacting this way at a certain time. If you look at my last 4 or 5 videos, especially Wednesday where the interest rate was supposed to be announced, I mentioned how hey, even though Nvidia came out with earnings and the market reacted the way it did, we might see a pull down, especially because we have data. And then the market's gonna go down and everybody's gonna be like, what? How did that happen? What? We couldn't see that happening. Yeah, you could have seen happening if you understand the market. So again, you're gonna see the S&P 500 open a little bit higher. Again, because it's gonna be a short week. It's gonna be a short week, you guys. We got release data, so everybody gonna have their eyes on this shit. Watch, and if this data comes out sort of goodish, meaning oh yeah, with this data right here, the Fed is definitely gonna cut interest rates. You will see a spike. You will see a spike in the S&P 500 and in gold and in the markets and whatnot. And all these stocks that were down fucking $100, $200 down, you will see the fucking recovery 25% going up. $25, whatever percent that is or whatnot. You will see the market respond in a positive way, and then you will see is this over? Is the recession over? Have we hit bottom? Is stocks gonna go up from here? Watch. Um, do you remember Chanel? I don't know who you are. 19 steps. Lean, no. Do you remember Chanel? What the hell are you guys talking about? Anyways, all right, you guys. So I'll come back probably around when the market opens, which is gonna be probably around 4 o'clock, to update you how the market opens. This is Brian Seacrest signing out, folks.